You break the rules and become a hero. I do it and I become the enemy. This doesn't seem fair.
Go, go, go!
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? How you been? I have my little Doctor Strange here. Hello! It's me, Doctor Strange! And I got my Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness popcorn bucket. I don't know why I paid extra for the popcorn bucket. I guess I did need a popcorn bucket, surprisingly, for my house, because I like to eat popcorn. But it was like $25 for the collector's cup and the popcorn bucket. They suckered me in. I got there and I saw everybody else buying it. I'm like, well, I don't want to be left out. I want this stupid crap that I will throw in a box and never have any use for. We'll put them on the shelf later. Point is, guys, I saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I have some thoughts. This is going to be my review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and to be warned, it will contain some spoilers. I don't know if I should avoid the major spoilers. You know what? We're just going to do full spoilers here. I think it's just going to be more interesting to talk about. So if you're the kind of person, there are some revelations, some new characters, maybe you want to avoid that. Maybe skip this review and come back. But, I mean, it is a Marvel movie, okay? Nothing earth-shattering has happened. And, I mean, some new characters, again, is probably the most exciting stuff. We'll be talking about that. But let's talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the first major step forward in what I believe is Marvel Phase 4? I don't follow the phases, I don't care. Point is, it's setting up the Marvel Universe for something. I don't know what. And honestly, I guess I came out of this movie. I guess I was expecting would be like, oh, here's the path forward. Here's the new bad guy. Here's what we're going to do. Really, the story did not clear up very much of that. I thought this was going to be like the big Crisis on Infinite Earths, Earth's reset of the timeline and everything else. But it really is just kind of a self-contained Doctor Strange story that maybe has some ramifications for some characters, but ultimately, I still don't exactly know what's going on with Marvel. Maybe we're going to find out more with Thor's coming out and they're doing another Captain Marvel. I don't really know. It's all still a bit confusing. Now, I find the best way to structure these reviews is just go in chronological order. So the movie starts off, Doctor Strange is going to the wedding of Christine, which was the girl he used to be in love with, I think, from the first movie. And now she's getting married to somebody else. He's getting cucked by a black guy. I'm sure some people are going to read into that. But she's just marrying somebody else. She is not marrying Steven. He's clearly upset about it. And it's kind of, I was glad that the movie immediately got going. Actually, before the wedding, he has this dream of a different alternate version of Doctor Strange with this weird Mexican girl trying to get a magic book. And what he finds out is that wasn't really a dream, that every dream you have is actually you in an alternate multiverse. So I guess there's a lot of multiverses where my teeth keep falling out, or where I go to school naked. I didn't really buy that explanation, but sure. Because as he's at the wedding, this girl who was in his dreams, this America Chavez, he ends up seeing her. She's being attacked by a giant squid. And what you get is a pretty good little action sequence of him and Wong. That was one problem I had with the movie, is that Wong very quickly gets separated from Strange, and it ends up being the adventures of Strange and this Hispanic girl. And their chemistry was just not that great. I wish Wong had been there for the whole movie. I think the interplay between him and Strange is a lot more fun. Whereas the girl playing America Chavez, I mean, luckily she's not, like, annoying. She's not, like, off-putting. But she's also not really memorable. She's just kind of like, I'm a goofy kid. I'm here. She doesn't have any really great lines. She's just kind of, like, she's likable, but generic. I just didn't get enough from her. I mean, I feel like this movie, Doctor Strange on his own, just is not interesting enough. Benedict Cumberbatch does not really carry that character. I feel like he's better when he has someone to play off of. That he's like the serious sorcerer or whatever, and there's someone else who's like kind of, I don't know, setting him up for lines. And I felt like America Chavez was not a good fit for that. Him and Wong, just the chemistry is way better. So this girl's name is America Chavez. This is a real Marvel character who is, as far as I can tell, why this is a terrible character. It's a terrible character name. I mean, I don't want to read too far into it, but I understand when you take a supposedly Hispanic character and you name her America, I assume you're trying to say some sort of thing about immigration, and I don't know what it is. The problem is when you name a character America for no reason. Nobody in the movie ever goes, "Wow, that's a really stupid name." Instead, for the whole movie, you have these lines that are like, "We've got to save America. Is America okay?" And it doesn't work. In your mind, you're going, "Is America okay?" Oh, the character America. We've got to save America. Oh, not the country, the character. There's just something about this character that seems like it was very much written for this modern time period of social issues and social struggle. The entire movie, she has, a pride flag with the transgender triangle on it. And you go, okay, I mean, I guess that maybe works that she's like one of these millennials and that's what they care about is, diversity and representation. And again, I don't think the movie overdoes it. You do learn, again, she has two moms. I don't know, it seems comical. Every time they add something to her character, I'm not, off put by it. I just go, yeah, of course she has two moms. Of course she's a Hispanic girl named America. Of course she has a trans, flag pin. I get it. You've made this character for the young people who care about all the issues and the diversity and whatever else. Fine. So at a certain point, you just got to let it wash over you. And she's like, well, when me and my two moms were hanging out, you're like, yeah, I know. I know you have two moms. Of course you have two moms. Either that or two dads. You would have had one of those combinations because you are a forward-thinking character for the year 2022. So America Chavez has incredible something power, whatever. Her power is she can travel the multiverse. She has the ability to make these star-shaped portals and go to different multiverses, which is apparently a very unique power that a lot of people want access to. And one of those people, and this was a good twist. I'm gonna say this. I haven't given an overall feeling on the movie. My overall feeling on the movie is it's fine. It's not great. There's some stuff I really like. There's some stuff that completely fell flat. But what I did like was that they went, you know what? Let's just go full force on making the Scarlet Witch a villain. They pulled back a little at the end, and I'll talk about that. I don't like that. But early on, Doctor Strange is like, hey, Wanda, can you help me protect America Chavez? Because there's demons that are trying to get her for some reason. Actually, he says, I need your help in protecting this kid. And this is a spoiler, but Wanda goes, well, why don't you just bring America here? And then he looks at her and she goes, shit, did I say America? I meant that kid whose name you haven't told me yet. And he goes, oh, fuck. You've been sending demons after this kid to try and kidnap her and take her power. And she's like, yeah, okay, that was me. So it's very interesting, though we kind of came out. I want to know, when did they plan this, character turn? Because we just came out of WandaVision, which kind of ended with, I've gone crazy and I've kidnapped and enslaved all these people. Oh, but I have a moment of revelation, and that was terrible. And now I'm going to, try to be a good person again. But now she's kind of immediately gone back to nah, I'm just evil, and I'm going to try and kill this kid to take her powers. I loved Elizabeth Olsen as evil, spooky Scarlet Witch, and that was probably some of the best stuff in the movie, is her just being an insane demon woman, crawling out of paintings and with red glowing demon eyes. That was all great, but it does kind of feel like we're just doing WandaVision again. Except now, turned up to 11, where it's no, she's just full on. Before she was just sad crazy. Now she's full on evil crazy. I need to take this Hispanic kid and eat her body or rip her powers out or whatever, and I'm gonna take her powers for myself because I really want those two kids that I invented are apparently real in other dimensions. Okay, the two kids she had in WandaVision are apparently in other parts of the multiverse are real kids and not inventions. So Wanda's whole thing is, if I take her powers, it's a little convoluted, let's be clear. The writing is definitely a little convoluted. She wants to go to one of these universes, I assume kill the version of her that lives there, and then take over in that universe, and she can be the mom to the kids of that universe. Doctor Strange is like, okay, but you can just do that. Why do you need to take America's powers as well? You could just find a different way to travel through the multiverse. Her explanation is, yes, but then I'll have so much power that if anything ever goes wrong, if my kids get sick, then I can travel through the multiverse and find a universe that can cure their disease, or, basically if anything happens, I'll have incredible power to protect my kids forever. Okay, little kind of feels like afterthought writing of like, oh, maybe she doesn't actually. We've established that people can just travel throughout the multiverse, so she doesn't actually have to kill her. So now we have to add another level on top of it of, now I just want all the powers to protect my kids forever. That was a little sloppy in terms of writing, but sure, I buy it. Regardless, I love crazy, evil WandaVision Wanda. I love it. So we get what I think is a great scene. I always love the big battle scenes in these movies where you see all the rank and file soldiers. It's the attack on Kamatage or whatever the magic temple with all the magic people is, and they're all trying to protect themselves as Scarlet Witch is attacking. That was a great scene. Of course, she does manage to get in, and she's about to take America's powers, and America, whenever she's threatened, freaks out and travels through the multiverse. This is where the movie starts to kind of suck. I gotta be real. This whole, I guess, this is a three-act movie, this is kind of the second act. The travel to a second dimension act was surprisingly weak. It almost felt like it was the last thing they shot, and I'll tell you why in a second. So they travel to a different universe, which is kind of just like a parallel Earth. And in this universe, Doctor Strange is dead. He died, supposedly giving his life to stop Thanos. So they meet the current Sorcerer Supreme, who is Mordo, the black gentleman sorcerer from the original Doctor Strange, who ends up poisoning their tea and taking them to the Illuminati. Now, this is something I thought I'd be excited for, because I actually love the Illuminati comic. I have it on my shelf. The Illuminati is a group of Marvel heroes. The original Illuminati was... It's like all the most powerful guys, like Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, Charles Xavier, Namor, Black Bolt, and Doctor Strange. I think those are the 6 members of the Illuminati. In the original comics, they've obviously changed it here. And the idea that these are the most powerful guys in the universe, so they all are kind of secretly... running everything in the Marvel Universe, making sure everything's in its right place. So we meet the Illuminati of this Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know if there's other Illuminatis in other universes. I hope so, because, okay, big spoiler, I think all the Illuminati die. I think only Mordo lives, the black sorcerer guy. The Illuminati of this universe, again, huge spoilers. This might be the time you want to turn off. I don't know, but I'll just tell you. It's Captain Carter, whatever her name is, Peggy Carter from she got the Captain America powers. We saw it in a What If, so they kind of set that up there. There is Captain Marvel, but it's Monica Rambeau. I forget why this is why, like, even me as like a fan who's watched a lot of these Marvel properties and seen most of the movies, I'm like, okay, the Monica Rambeau has powers, and you got the Captain Britain, okay. Then you have, of course, Mordo. We talked about that. Black Bolt is there. It's the first time we've ever seen Black Bolt, well, no, because Black Bolt, there was a Black Bolt in the Inhumans TV show, but they're clearly taking that out of canon. They're like, forget that exists. We have a new Black Bolt. So Black Bolt's kind of just there, and you're like, okay, Black Bolt's here, fine. Then the big reveals of the council are John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, which I have mixed feelings about. I love John Krasinski in my heart of hearts. I love this guy. For some reason, he does not strike me as a Reed Richards. Reed Richards to me, I guess maybe I'm just still thinking of Jim from The Office, who's like a little goofy. Reed Richards to me has always been like such a serious, I don't know how to put it. Because he was like one of these 50s heroes that was like an archetypal man, like the man for every occasion, with a square jaw and a great fighter, also a great scientist, a top mind, was kind of like supposed to be the Ultra Chad. Whereas John Krasinski's just kind of like a dude. It's let's be clear, I'm happy with it. I'm happy it's John Krasinski. Does it fit what I normally think of Mr. Fantastic? No, but who cares? Whatever. It's just, and again, he freaking dies anyway, so who knows? We might even get a different Mr. Fantastic in another movie. And then, of course, the big reveal that I think we all knew was coming was Charles Xavier is here. Of course, Patrick Stewart is back. I don't know how this guy is still going. He looks like he's 200 years old, but I'm glad he's here. He's even in, yes, the classic 1990s cartoon yellow motorized wheelchair. Like, they threw in some fan service, let's be clear. But this whole second act, or at least after they get captured, I don't know why, it's super duper ugly. It's like absolutely the ugliest part of the film. Other parts of the film look great, like great locations, great special effects, whatever else. This looks like they just rented the cheapest building they could find, brought all these actors together last minute, and just were like, let's just film. It looks like they filmed it in a day. It looks terrible. The lighting is terrible. The location is terrible. The set looks so cheap. Doctor Strange and America Chavez are trapped in these containment rooms. Oh my God. And I'm like, that is just plexiglass. It is a box of plexiglass, and he stapled like one or two mechanical looking things to it to try and make it look kind of science fiction-y. It looks so cheap and crappy. Anyway, the Illuminati tells him, we've captured you because the last Doctor Strange from our universe. Again, this plot is kind of convoluted. Here's what they tell him. They tell him, so our Doctor Strange didn't actually die fighting Thanos. He took the magic evil book, the one that Wanda is currently using to do this thing called dream walking, which basically just means jumping into your body in a different universe. So somebody else, your exact whatever. I could jump into Vito in universe 895 and go on an adventure and then come back. So as he was doing that, he was doing it to find ways to destroy Thanos. Maybe other Doctor Stranges in other universes knew something he didn't. And as he was doing it, he accidentally caused something, I think they call it an incursion, where two universes collided and it killed 1 trillion people. And he felt really bad about it. And he went to the Illuminati and he said, listen, guys, I just caused an incursion and I killed an entire other universe. I'm sorry. So then they fought Thanos. I don't know if they used the information he got while dreamwalking. They defeated Thanos. But then right after defeating Thanos, Doctor Strange got on his knees and Black Bolt used his sonic yelling or whatever, his superpower, to blow Doctor Strange into 1,000,000 pieces. So they killed the Doctor Strange of their universe, I guess as punishment for using the magic book. This was a very convoluted and confusing plot point. I'm like, okay, I understand that your Doctor Strange accidentally blew up another universe, and that sucks. But did you have to kill him for it? It sounded like he was still a good guy who helped you guys defeat Thanos. Like, was it just like, well, the punishment needs to fit the crime, we have to kill you? They never gave, like, a good reason why the Illuminati had to kill him after that, other than, like, well, we just have to punish him for doing it, so let's just kill him. What also doesn't make sense is they go, also, this is why we don't trust any other Doctor Stranges, because we find that every Doctor Strange eventually gets the evil book and starts dreamwalking and messing stuff up, so they just hate Doctor Stranges, I guess? Like I said, I'm still confused. I would need to watch it again, but I guess I got the understanding that whenever they find a Doctor Strange, they just, like, kill him or something. Because that's what the council is voting on. They're like, there's a Doctor Strange here, what should we do? And they're all about to vote whether or not to kill him. And he's telling them, guys, Wanda is going to dreamwalk to your universe. She's going to jump into the Wanda of this universe, and she's going to come here to try and get America Chavez and kill this kid, and she's going to destroy everybody. So you need to let me go so we can whatever else. This is also a part of the movie where I go, why don't you just let her kill the Hispanic kid? I mean, I know it's a Marvel movie, and I know it's always like, oh, we can't spare even one life. But there's always this part of me that goes, okay, there's an ancient demon witch who at this point has racked up a body count, at least in the dozens. Like, maybe letting her kill the one kid and giving her the power to just go live with her fake kids in another universe would have been. Is it better to sacrifice like 100 dudes to save one kid? Is it? I'm not a Marvel writer because I run the numbers and I go, just give her the kid. Who cares? Because Wanda shows up and immediately just starts killing everybody, which is fascinating to me, actually. Because WandaVision Wanda, who, okay, she enslaved a town, but she didn't, like, kill anybody in the town. It's just like, yeah, that was a really screwed up thing you did. You enslaved this town, you made them play a part in your little TV documentary. But she had the opportunity of, like, okay, you can go back to being a good person. You made a big mistake. Now, as we see, and again, like a terrible action sequence, huge letdown, this action sequence. But in this sequence, she kills Black Bolt, Mr. Fantastic, the whole Illuminati. Again, she kills everybody except for the black guy. Monica Rambeau, she even uses the shield to cut Captain British Lady in half. I thought that would be more exciting than it was. This could have been like the absolute coolest part of the movie, but it was way too quick, terribly shot. I mean, my God, how are you going to give me John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and you don't even give me like a full minute of him doing stretchy arm fighting stuff? Like, he literally just immediately dies to Wanda. It sucks. Like, they missed such a good opportunity there. Point is, we now have a Wanda that is, like, irredeemable, okay? She is just officially killed. She killed a bunch of heroes. The only cool kill was when she killed Black Bolt, because that really caught the audience off guard, is that Black Bolt, again, has the ability to use his voice to screw people up. She takes away his mouth, and then when he goes to scream because it can't get out of his mouth, it just blows his head wide. It like basically like blows out his brain. I was like, oh my God, is this movie rated PG-13? I don't know. It's pretty bloody for what you get for a PG-13 movie. Not to mention snapping Professor X's neck. The whole point I'm trying to make is Wanda is now irredeemable. Where do we go from this? Okay, that we have a character. It's no longer like, oh, Wanda could, you know, get back to being good and rejoin the Avengers. It's like, no, she's always going to be a bad guy now. I mean, there's no coming back from killing. She killed Mr. Fantastic, man. She killed Jim. How could we ever forgive her after that? She killed Patrick Stewart. Oh my God, Picard, no. All right, so we have the big escape sequence. Sam Raimi is having a lot of fun in this movie. I'd say the best parts of the movie are when Sam Raimi is having fun. When he's trying to do, it's definitely not a full-on horror movie, but when he starts to do the horror stuff and the jump scares and the creepy music and the weird camera angles, all of that is infinitely more fun than these cookie-cutter Marvel movies we've been getting. The problem is it's very inconsistent. It'll go from being cookie-cutter Marvel movie, very like static shots, to all the weird, trippy, fun camera work and a weird horror tone. And it kind of feels like they should have just picked a lane. Kind of feels like at some point, I don't know, making a superhero horror movie was kind of a good idea, but they didn't really commit to the bit. They didn't really go as hard as they should have. I would have preferred this movie if it was just, oh my God, Wanda is a scary, spooky witch psychopath who is just chasing these people through bizarre, haunted dreamscapes. But instead, it gets bogged down in the traditional Marvel hero fighting, whatever else. And that's kind of where the movie falls apart, is that it doesn't have a consistent through line. Now, the final act, it's fine. It wraps it up. Again, not terribly memorable. Again, there's some parts in this movie where I really like the imagery. So they Doctor Strange ends up separated from America Chavez. So it's now Doctor Strange and his girlfriend. They end up in a universe that has been like completely ravaged, and the only thing left alive is an evil Doctor Strange. And the imagery was really cool. I was like, man, I wish the whole movie was like this, like just a weird dream world, not like an ugly bunch of hallway fights and some crappy setup. Again, I think the stuff with the Illuminati, I wanted to touch on this. It feels like that was the last part of the movie they wrote. Like they didn't know how or who was going to be in the Illuminati, like what projects were going to come up. So it feels like, you know, with a week left in production, they're like, okay, we've decided it's going to be Professor X. Let's get John Krasinski. Let's get some guy to play Black Bolt. So that all felt super thrown together and ugly and terrible. The stuff where he confronts this evil Doctor Strange, at least the lead up to it, felt planned out, felt methodical. It looked really good. The actual fight between him and evil Doctor Strange, again, felt anticlimactic, not that great. But it brings us to him confronting Wanda. So in order to get back to his reality, he now has to dreamwalk, which means he has to use the evil book, which is something he's never supposed to do, but whatever, I have to do it to save America Chavez. Again, how about just let the girl die? I really don't... like, at this point, you're like, I have to corrupt my soul eternally to save one dumb girl with a stupid name. Fine. But in order to dreamwalk, there has to be another version of him to dreamwalk into. Thankfully, at the beginning of the movie, we saw the Doctor Strange that got killed trying to protect America the first time around. So he dreamwalks into a corpse and is now zombie Doctor Strange. Does this sound crazy? Honestly, I love it. I love this idea. I love it. Well, it's crazy. It's different. It's original. Is it executed perfectly? No, but it's definitely better than your traditional, stupid big fun battle at the end of just the characters smashing into each other. At least there's a little bit of a twist. Because when he does this, all these hell spirits are like, you can't dreamwalk into a dead person, Doctor Strange. We're going to drag you to hell. But then because he has such incredible magic powers, he takes all the hell demons and basically makes them into giant black demon wings, and he flies on over to Wanda. It's nuts. It's crazy. I appreciated the originality of it. That being said, the actual ending, I have to say, I think it kind of fell on its face. I feel like they were being kind of bold and kind of interesting, creative, and then at the last minute, it got a little too obvious. So Wanda, who is crazy, has America chained to some stupid pillar or whatever. She's going to do some sacrifice ritual and kill her. And Doctor Strange gives America the boring believe in yourself talk, where he goes, you're the only one who can defeat Wanda. And she goes, but I can't control my powers. And he goes, the power was inside of you all along. Just believe in yourself. I was like, oh, come on. Are we really doing this? Are we really doing the solution to every power was to believe more in yourself? The solution to every predicament. So America learns to believe in herself, and ends up not only punching Wanda back, which I have a problem with the idea that Wanda is someone who is trained extensively. This is your classic Mary Sue scenario, and I hate to say it, but it's true. You have Wanda, who has trained extensively as a sorcerer, who has obtained dark magic from a variety of ancient texts that she risked her life to obtain. And then, some kid can just show up and be like, I have power that is more than yours for no reason. I mean, I hope Wanda is still more powerful than this kid, and she kind of just caught her off guard. But it's like, what is the point of... I thought the whole point was that the Scarlet Witch is the most scary, deadly thing in the universe. Like, oh my god, nothing would even compare to that. Oh my god, and the Scarlet Witch has obtained the Book of Hoodoo or whatever. Now she's freaking unstoppable. And you go, no, because there's one kid who believed really hard in themselves, and they're now on equal footing with her. Thankfully, it's not just a battle of punching, because if America Chavez had won, just like, I have more power than you, and beat the crap out of Wanda, I would have been upset. They do something, I want to say it's slightly clever, but we're covering the same ground. She punches one of her star portals open, and it goes to the living room with Wanda's kids in another dimension. And what happens is that the kids see Spooky Witch Wanda, and they're like, and Spooky Witch Wanda, I think, punches their mom across the room, or she's hiding or something. I don't know. But basically, it's the classic, oh, you wanted to be reunited with your kids, but these kids are fucking terrified of you because you're a monster. And I'm like, yeah, all right, that's clever and that makes sense. She sees that what was she going to do? Kill their mom and then become their new mom? They were going to be terrified of her and it would have been a lie. We get it. Again, the problem is that this is the exact same ending of WandaVision. It's the same emotional beats of realizing that this world you created or whatever was a lie, that you were going to be living a lie, and that you can't live a lie and you have to accept reality. We did this already. The moment of, oh my god, I'm the real monster. Yeah, she already did all that in WandaVision. She woke up and she went, oh my god, what have I done? I've enslaved these people. Now she's going, oh my god, what have I done? I've traumatized these kids. It's the exact same emotional beats that we already went through in WandaVision. I would have much preferred if they just went full bore, Wanda is evil. She should have killed the alternate version of herself, killed her alternate version kids or something, and then just erupted like a demon and went, ah! And then finally Doctor Strange punches her in the back of the head or something. Instead, she has the big moment of revelation, what have I done? Oh my god, I have to tear down the magic temple so no one else can ever access this power. No, she's already past the point of no return. I don't need the little redemption at the end where she goes, I have to stop what I'm doing and put everything right. No, just have her go fully insane, have her eyes explode, have her grow like a crown of horns or whatever, kill the kids, kill the mom, and then Doctor Strange is finally like, okay, let's shut this down now that she's distracted. That I felt was a weak ending. It was just this. I would have been more okay with that ending if I hadn't already seen it in WandaVision. But the fact that we're once again doing maybe she can be redeemed, she learned a lesson. Like, no. Just completely subvert the audience's expectations. Take Scarlet Witch and make her a fucking demon psychopath from hell forever. Or at least for a little while longer. I don't need her to immediately understand what it's so wrong what I did. No one should ever do. Such a waste of a moment. Anyway, movie very quickly wraps up from there. Doctor Strange sets America up. She's going to be training to use her powers. He goes back to his sanctum, and he learned a lesson. Now, notice I haven't really talked about Doctor Strange's character arc at all. It is a terrible character arc, and that is the reason. His character arc is, again, at the beginning of the movie, he goes, man, I wish I had married that girl. Then he meets her in a different universe and goes, I should have just told you I loved you, whatever else. I should work for my own happiness. And then at the end of the movie, I guess he's a little more confident and he's going to try to take charge of his own happiness a little more. I don't know. I guess he doesn't really need to grow for the movie. Everybody else had their stupid little arc, I guess. Captain America Chavez learned to believe in herself or whatever. Great. But it did feel very weak of like, I got to see a girl and maybe I'll hook up with the alternate reality version of my girlfriend. I fixed my watch that was broken. I'm a whole new man. And the movie ends and Doctor Strange has, as we saw when he fought the evil Doctor Strange who had a third eye in his forehead, because he used the evil book, I assume, Doctor Strange now has a third eye in his forehead. So he's going to have to wrestle with being corrupted by the evil book that he was forbidden to use. We'll see where it goes post-credits. I believe it's his protege. What's her name? His witch lady friend from the comics. She shows up and she's like, you need to help me repair the multiverse. And he's like, all right, cool, check out my third eye. So they're setting up for that. Sure. So ultimately, how do I feel about this movie? I'm playing with my little Doctor Strange down here. At least I got a fun toy out of it. Look, some people are going to tell you this is the worst thing that ever happened. It's not terrible, but it does feel like a above average Disney Plus miniseries. Some parts of it, you're like, they put money and care and time into it, absolutely, and some of those visuals are great. But then again, there's parts where I just wish this movie was consistent, because there are scenes, again, that look great. I'm thinking there's a scene where Professor X is trying to save Wanda from inside her own mind, and it's a pure white room, and then these red tendrils of mist start coming forth because the Scarlet Witch is overtaking her mind. Like, stuff like that looks incredible. Some of the horror visuals and stuff. Again, there's this part where she does this spooky, like, the Ring crawling out of the TV, but she's crawling out of, like, a mirror or something, and her back's all screwed up, and all her joints are in the wrong places. If they had committed to the horror stuff more, I would have loved it. But as is, it's just uneven. For everything I like, there's something that just feels disappointing. And also, the fact that the Illuminati reveal was just... that could have been like one of the greatest moments that got everybody, and that's clearly the moment they want you to go to the movie for, is to see all these new characters and who's going to show up and who's going to play who. But it just fell on his face because it was so ugly and it was a terrible action scene. Again, how do you get Jim? You get Jim from The Office as Mr. Fantastic. You got to give him like at least 2 minutes of doing stretchy stuff. You can't just immediately have her use one witch spell and kill him. Come on. That being said, would I recommend seeing this movie? I think this movie's worth a $15 ticket. I think there's enough fun stuff here that it's worth a watch. Again, it isn't... I mean, it is lacking. You look at other Marvel movies which have such great dialogue, such great visuals, and you go, man, this movie could have been a lot more. The dialogue definitely really fell flat for me. There's no really great of that Marvel dialogue, those jokes, those quips. It's kind of very flat, just kind of like, I hope we get out of this situation okay, America. Yeah, me too. Blah, blah. Like, I don't know. It's definitely lacking in some places, but the parts where you get your classic Marvel action, some of your classic Marvel visuals, and again, and just the fact that Sam Raimi tried something new, by adding this horror twist to it and some interesting camera work. It kind of feels like Marvel is going to break away from this house style. Every movie has to look exactly the same and be framed exactly the same and have exactly the same kind of CGI or whatever. At least the originality that we got, though there should have been more of it, at least that was a big positive for the film. So if I had to give it a score, like a star rating, I'd say 3 out of 5 stars for Doctor Strange, which is solid. It's solid. It's not going to be remembered as one of the great Marvel movies of all time, but it is at least interesting. And I'll admit, you're gonna want to see it just to see Professor X joining the Marvel Universe, to see, I don't know, I was going to say again, John Krasinski, just seeing John Krasinski in the Mr. Fantastic suit. It's like, yeah, I'd pay $10 to see that. I'd like it. He needed to do more stretchy stuff. I like that. That's my number one complaint about the movie, is not enough Mr. Fantastic. But there really wasn't. You'll see the flaws when you see the movie, but I think there's stuff to like. I don't know. If you're a kind of person who, if you're in the Marvel Universe, it is not so disgusting and terrible and nonsensical as to not be worth a ticket. It's just a little uneven. It feels very thrown together. It feels like it kind of came together at the last minute. That up until the last minute, they're like, I don't know who's in the Illuminati. Just film this, and we'll get the cheapest set we possibly can. I wish this had another, 6 months in the can to fix some of the issues, but it still works. It gets you there. Again, you just have to get over the fact that this America Chavez girl is not nearly that interesting or cool or fun. Seems like they're trying to maybe set her up to be a focal point of the universe. No, she sucks. She's just a dumb kid, okay? I really hope we don't get an America Chavez movie. She's not that good. Anyway, guys, that's my review of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I gotta go fill up my bucket, get me some fresh corn. I wonder if I go to the theater now and I go, I want more corn. They go, sir, you only get it on the day of the screening. You can't come back and get infinite corn. Anyway, tell me in the comments, did you see the movie? Are you going to see the movie? What did you think? Did you like it? I want to know. I know it's a lot of mixed reactions, but ultimately, I had a good time. Not like the best movie. I'm not running back to the theater to see it again, but I would actually like to watch it again when it comes out on home video. I think there's some stuff worth watching. I think it was enjoyable. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the Veto Nation. Hit that button down there. And also check out my comic book, Super Killer, over at superkiller.org. If you jump on the mailing list now when we do the crowdfunder to get the comic book out there, you're actually going to save money if you're one of the first people to buy the comic. You're going to get a discounted price. How can you pass on that? Have fun, guys. I love you. And we got more cool videos coming soon.